I'm Jonathan Amberian at the state capitol. Some of the tensions that arose here during this year's legislative session are back out in the open. I'll have more on some of the resurfaced splits within the Republican and Democratic caucuses.
We just kind of did a jaw drop when we saw that in writing.
Plus, property tax information coming to a mailbox near you. And later, Butte welcomes home a warrior.
I'm Megan Thompson here in Butte at the airport, and coming right up, it's a very special welcome home for a very special girl.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thank you for trusting MTN for your 10 o'clock news. I'm Tim McGonigal. First tonight, Montanans' mailboxes have been filling up over the past few weeks with property tax relief cards and taxable value letters. MTN's Madeline Heath spoke to homeowners to learn how property tax changes are impacting them.
You have probably already received your taxable value letters and property tax rebates in the mail.
But you may be wondering what these cards and letters actually mean.
We just kind of did a jaw drop when we saw that in writing.
The Earleys have called Montana home for decades and became homeowners 3 years ago. Even in that short amount of time, they've seen many changes in their property value and taxes.
The value of our house went up almost $200,000 from the last assessment.
The Montana Department of Revenue has been mailing notices with updated tax assessments for properties over the past few weeks. The notices account for changes lawmakers made during this year's legislative session.
It's just really uncomfortable. It's kind of like, where's this going to stop? And you just feel powerless.
The state reassesses property values every 2 years. In 2023, a spike in assessed values sparked widespread concern across the Treasure State, and this time is no different.
The spike that we've seen for this coming tax year is way too high, much higher than it should be.
The state offered property tax rebates to homeowners in 2023 and 2024. Grace Jones is visiting Montana from California and was fascinated by the idea of tax rebates.
I think offering rebates to current property owners for property taxes could be something that could help relieve the pressure for families.
Property owners will again need to apply to receive this year's rebate of up to $400. However, some Montanans say it doesn't even make a dent.
The $400 tax rebate, we're like, well, what's the tax going to be? And then we saw what it's based on now at the new valuation of our house, and it's like a joke.
The online portal to claim property tax rebates opens August 15th and will close on October 1st. This year's property tax bills will go out in October. Reporting in Helena, Madeline Heath, MTN News.
Well, your Thursday evening, we have an intense thunderstorm that moved over Great Falls. This is some footage from 24th Street and 5th Avenue South. You can see that water is feet deep. We have dangerous flooding ongoing across parts of the city with some areas looking at several feet of water. Just if you can avoid travel tonight, that's going to be your best bet. This is the view over in the Riverview neighborhood with water just flowing down the street. Just turn around, don't drown, don't drive through any flooded roadways. We still have some ongoing thunderstorms. The heaviest rain has lifted off to the north and to the east from Great Falls, but that flash flood warning still in effect through 12:15. And we have some heavier showers to the west towards Choteau and also to the north in Fort Benton. We're seeing some very heavy rain right now. We also have a flash flood warning over portions of Choteau County, and then there are just some heavier downpours along the High Line. We're also looking at some flooding down into the Helena area.
A Great Falls Church is doing its part to help victims of natural disasters. First United Methodist of Great Falls held a cleanup kit drive today. Reverend Dawn Scarrett and her congregation pitched in by collecting cleaning products, including trash bags, household cleaners, and bug spray. The church has already worked with the Colorado congregation to help flood victims in Texas.
The Kerr County flooding pulled on our heartstrings. Lots of my parishioners have, friends or family in Kerr County, and so we wanted to do something to support them, and this was something that we came up with.
Scarrett says the goal of the drive is to refill the stock to be prepared to help out in the event of another disaster. Friends, family, and Burt Mooney Airport staff are giving a special homecoming welcome to a 16-year-old Butte girl who returned home yesterday. MTN's Megan Thompson was there to capture the homecoming and speak with Grace Underwood, whose cancer is now in remission.
After months of treatment for cancer, a very special Butte girl is getting a very special welcome home here at the airport.
She has been so lonely in Salt Lake. She had to go there for her treatments and she had no friends there, completely new state, and everyone being here just means so much to her, and us letting her know that we're still in her life and we still care about her.
Caitlin Gross is one of over 50 people who showed up to welcome 16-year-old Grace Underwood home after she completed cancer treatment for Ewing sarcoma of the spine, a rare type of cancer that required 9 months of treatment.
She did 55 plus days of chemotherapy and 25 days of radiation throughout her stay down there.
About a week ago, Grace rang the bell, signifying she is done with cancer treatment, and her journey home began. After touching down, airport staff turned on water cannons, making little rainbows as the plane taxied the runway. Meanwhile, family and friends gathered to greet Grace.
Did you know that this was going to happen?
No. I knew she was going to be here, but that's it.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you get home?
She's taking me to Walmart. Gonna go to Walmart and not get sick. Then I get to go home and go back to school, stuff.
Be a teenager.
But before arriving home at her front door, Grace gets one big parade around town with family, friends, and first responders.
I'm so grateful she's healthy. She's now happy. We're home. We get to be back with our family.
Welcome home, Grace! In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
9 GOP senators drew criticism from other Republicans during this year's legislative session when they broke with party leadership and sided with Democrats on a series of key procedural votes. Well, now there seems to be division among some Democrats after a leaked memo shows Democrats were split on whether they got enough out of their dealings with the Republicans. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian brings us the latest.
This week, MTN journalists received copies of a document in the mail that shows some of the disagreements within the state legislature's Democratic caucuses. The 22-page document, titled Tangible Damages, lays out arguments that the working majority of Democrats and some Republicans had, quote, repeatedly worked against Democratic values, particularly violating Democratic priorities on tax policy and failing to stop, quote, far-right policies attacking trans people. The report was sent anonymously with a false return address and a Billings postmark. It was received by multiple journalists as well as a number of lawmakers. House Minority Leader Katie Sullivan confirmed the document came out of a request she made to House Democratic staff. In a statement to MTN, she said, quote, "This document is just one result and one person's perspective. Some I agree with, some I disagree with, and some I would have phrased it differently." Sullivan said disagreements happen, but Democrats would overcome this. Senate Minority Leader Pat Flowers, who frequently pointed to the working majority as a success during the session, echoed that in a statement, saying, quote, "Differences of opinion within a political party aren't just inevitable, they're healthy. I'm proud of the work every one of our Democratic legislators did this session, and I know that we'll continue to work together on the hard problems facing people across Montana." Leaked documents aren't the only sign of party disagreements spilling out into the public. In some Montana communities, residents are hearing it right on their phone.
Lou Jones is at it again. He's gobbling up our tax dollars to pay for more pork barrel spending.
That's a clip of one of a series of robocalls that have gone out in the last 2 months, attacking Republican lawmakers like Representative Lou Jones of Conrad. The recordings don't include any attribution. The staunchly conservative Montana Freedom Caucus has reposted them on social media. Caucus Chair Representative Jerry Schillinger of Circle denied knowing who's behind the calls, but said he agreed with their message.
They disrespected what their voters thought they were getting in the conservative majority in the Senate to carry out a conservative agenda.
Jones said people in his district felt harassed by the robocalls, and that he'll stand by his votes for investments he said his constituents need.
Well, I try to vote with this district 100% of the time, and I would argue it's conservative. I don't know how it's not conservative to fix stuff before you fail.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
So this summer we're doing a series of concerts to raise funds for a big trip that we're taking to San Francisco next year.
Ahead, making music and raising money to represent CMR.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. A big honor for some talented young musicians in Great Falls. The CMR Chamber Orchestra has been selected to perform at the prestigious American String Teachers National Orchestra Festival in San Francisco. A historic moment, as it's the first time a group has been selected to participate from Montana. Now the students are working hard to raise the money to make the trip happen. MTN's Quentin Shores has the story.
Oh, hey, I was just practicing for my audition. Did you know that the C.M. Russell Chamber Orchestra is actually heading to San Francisco? Who knows? Maybe they can use the saxophone. I spoke with CMR Orchestra Director Steve Olson to find out more about this amazing opportunity.
So this summer we're doing a series of concerts to raise funds for a big trip that we're taking to San Francisco next year. Really huge opportunity for the orchestra program. It's a sort of a long story, but last year we auditioned for a performance opportunity that was going to be held in Spokane, and it was part of the Northwest Music Education Association Conference and Festival. So we put together our audition, sent it in, and we got accepted, which was really cool. It's the first time the CMR Orchestra Department has ever been featured at this particular event.
It's also the first time anyone from Great Falls and anyone from the state of Montana has been selected to perform at this festival. Every year they have this national conference located somewhere in the United States, but typically they have them in East Coast states. Fortunately, this year, they are holding the conference in San Francisco, California, meaning that the C.M. Russell Chamber Orchestra can attend and blow everyone away with their sound.
Judges review our audition, and they didn't know who we were. All they saw was just our video, and that's it. So they judge us solely based on how we play.
Not only do the students get to fly to San Francisco, immerse themselves in a new culture, and play music,
but they'll also get to attend the conference as well, which is a 4-day event. And the conference is so cool because it has sessions upon sessions upon sessions of just anything you could imagine that you'd want to see regarding strings.
The conference will be held on February 25th through the 28th of 2026, and Olson and 32 students, half of which being violins first and second chair, 4 violas, 10 cellos, and 2 basses, will be making up the C.M. Russell Chamber Group.
In an effort to raise funds for this, we launched a series of 3 concerts this summer. We have 2 more left. The next one is Thursday, August 7th, 7:30 p.m. here at CMR, and then the last one will be Thursday, August 21st at 7:30 p.m. Fun show, only about an hour, so you're in, you're out, it's nice and easy. And if you're so moved by our performance or our story, please throw in some money to our bucket to help send us to San Francisco.
In Great Falls, I'm Quentin Shores, MTN News.
The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services is urging Montanans to take increased precautions against mosquito bites this summer. 4 mosquito pools have tested positive for West Nile virus, including 3 in Lewis and Clark County and 1 in Cascade County. If contracted, the virus can range from no symptoms, flu-like symptoms, paralysis to even death. There are actions you can take to prevent mosquito bites, explained through the 4 Ds, which include DEET, or insect repellent, draining standing water, avoiding the outdoors at dawn and dusk, and dressing in long sleeves and pants when recreating.
We have confirmed detections of West Nile virus in mosquitoes. The main concern is we consider it present throughout the state. So once we have our first detections in mosquitoes, it's great to just go ahead and assume that you are at risk when you're around mosquitoes throughout the state.
According to a post on the Toole County Health Department's Facebook page, a measles exposure has been identified in the county. Health officials ask residents to check their vaccination status and remind people the MMR vaccine is safe and highly effective. Symptoms can be present for 7 to 21 days after exposure. Anyone with questions can call the Toole County Health Department. According to the CDC, as of Tuesday, there are over 1,300 confirmed measles cases in 40 U.S. jurisdictions. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services reports 30 cases in Montana as of last week.
Well, we are still seeing some flooding across Great Falls right now, and that flooding threat is going to shift north throughout the night. So for places like Havre and to the High Line, we'll be on the lookout for some storms.
Now, with meteorologist Eric Johnson.
Well, we had some remarkable storms across central and southwest Montana today. We actually had a landspout tornado touch down just to the east of Townsend just before 6 o'clock. This was taken by Kelly. Johnson. And then we had that storm that developed over Great Falls very quickly, causing a lot of flooding. This video showing that water up to several feet on the roads with some flooding in Great Falls this evening. And over in the Riverview neighborhood, you can see that water just rushing down the street. We're still looking at some flooding across the city right now. That flash flood warning will stay in effect through about 12:15. So we expect that flooding to continue for at least another couple of hours. If you can just stay indoors tonight, that's going to be your best bet. We're looking at some of that heavier rain starting to focus over 87 to the northeast of Great Falls through Choteau County. We do have a flash flood warning for Choteau County as well through 12:30 in the morning. We've seen some very heavy rainfall rates throughout the evening in Choteau County, and some areas have received anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain, and we're only going to pile on to that. Now, that heavier rain has come to an end, thankfully, in Great Falls. Again, we still have that flash flood warning through about 12:15. Some heavier rain right now over Choteau as well, and then as we head up towards Choteau County, that's where we're looking at some of that very heavy rain over Fort Benton right now. So we do have that flash flood warning in effect. There are pockets of heavy rain. You definitely want to avoid driving on Highway 87 right now. That's going to be a mess with very large puddles and potentially some flooding as well. Now, it's fairly quiet for parts of the High Line right now. We do have a couple of heavier showers around, but that is going to change. We are going to see some of that rain lifting off to the north towards Highway 2 throughout the night. So I definitely am concerned about some flooding up on the High Line later tonight as well. And then we also have a flash flood warning around the Horse Gulch burn scar. That goes until midnight, and we have seen some road closures around the Horse Gulch burn scar, so just keep that in mind if you're traveling near Helena. And then we are looking at a little bit of rain up towards Wolf Creek in between Great Falls and Helena this evening. Now, I want to take you through the rest of the night. We're going to see that all of that activity lifting up towards Havre. So Hill County, you are definitely going to have some concerns for some flooding tonight with some of those storms, and they will start to push east into Blaine and Phillips counties as we head through the overnight into early Friday morning. And we can see that heavy rain just continuing all the way through tomorrow morning, and that will continue to shift further to the east throughout the morning. And then we'll actually see another round of some showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. This is not going to be as widespread or severe, but there still could be some pockets of some very heavy rain within some of these storms, especially as they push out into eastern Montana, where they will get a little bit stronger and we could see some heavier rain. And then Saturday, we'll see another round, and then we finally will get a break into Sunday where we'll see some sunshine. And a look ahead to your 7-day forecast, we are going to see that round of showers and storms tomorrow, temperatures back up into the mid-80s, and then another chance on Saturday. So if you have some plans to head out to the fair, just keep that in mind. We could be dealing with more storms the next couple of days. Sunday's going to be our best bet. We'll get a nice little break. Then we have more storms in our forecast Monday into Tuesday, and then I think we're really finally going to break this stormy pattern by the middle to end of next week. And for Helena, you'll still see the chance of some showers and storms tomorrow and into Saturday. We'll see some sunshine into Sunday, and then there comes those storm chances again for Monday. And then up in Havre, you have storm chances all the way through the weekend. We'll stay nice and dry into Monday, and I'll have one last look at your forecast coming up in a few minutes.